Okay, so once again, good morning, everyone. First of all, let me introduce our today's speakers. Firstly, we will be presenting COROB project itself, and the project will be presented by Iñaki Sainz, the coordinator of LORTEC. Then Funding Box project lead Patrycja Kula will be presenting the open call requirements. After that, we would like to present challenges of the funding instruments, also led by Iñaki Sainz. And after that, we will have time for the Q&A session, led by Senior Project Manager Antonio Montalvo from Funding Box. And that's everything from me. So without further ado, welcome, and Iñaki, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Magdalena, for the introduction, and thank you all for joining. So, in order to introduce COROB, the idea of COROB is to research in cooperative robotics. The main goal is to develop a flexible, cooperative, and intelligent multi-robotic solution, okay, for multiple manufacturing processes. During this project, we will be mainly focused on ARC-based processes, but the idea is that the solution that we developed during the COROB project can be extended and imported to any other manufacturing processes. Okay. When we talk about cooperative robotics, it means that multiple robots cooperate together to enhance the capability of a single robot. Okay, it has nothing to do with collaboration with humans. It's all about cooperation between robots. How are we planning to do this? Well, all as a global solution, okay, and always in 4 axes. So we will be investigating in inspection, monitoring, control, all supported by AI. Okay, and as I said, during the scope of the project, we will mainly working on ARC-based processes that will be joining processes and additive manufacturing for repair. Okay, the main goal finally is to reduce the time, cost, and energy consumption. Okay, if I may, in the previous slide, I just wanted to say that we are planning to validate these developments into pilots. Okay, that I will explain later in more detail. So the impact of the project, we expect to have to make a scientific impact. As I said, we will be doing research in robotics and AI. So the idea is to demonstrate that this flexible and reconfigurable configuration manufacturing solutions can be enhanced by the using of cooperative robots. Okay, as I said before, this is has nothing to do with collaboration. Sorry, I think this is going so fast. Can we go to the previous slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So the collaboration between humans and robots, it's not maybe the main goal of the project, but the human will take a key role in the project. Okay, we are not planning to substitute the human, but to empower the human in this case. As I said, the environmental impact is the reduction of cost, time, and energy consumption, but also in the 2 pilots for the joining processes. Since as we will see later, we are planning to reduce the use of fixtures and jigs, and also the scrap ratio. And in the additive manufacturing is based on repair. So this is for powering circular economy. Okay. If we go and finally from the industrial perspective, we believe that all the developments that we will make, they are really in line with the industrial ecosystem in Europe. So we want to support all this supply chain. Okay, and you can see here in this slide just a very brief workflow of what the COROB concept is. As I said, we have 4 axes: COROB AI, vision, data, and control. So based on all these four, in a cascade scheme, we will have a pre-processing, joining. This is also additive manufacturing as well. And finally, it's post-processing. Okay, we will have a specific platform for the project based on asset administration cell that you can see on the bottom. And as you see, we always draw the human operator as it will take a key role in the complete process. Okay. So if we now get into the pilots, the first use case that we will be working on will be joining. If we go to move to the next slide, please. We will see that the first use case is for multi-robot cooperative welding. The concept here is to get rid of jigs or fixtures, and then we will have two manipulator robots that each of them take a piece, they face them together, and a third robot will weld them together. This, from the technical perspective, this is quite challenging as we during the welding process, a lot of energy is being induced in the joining, and a lot of forces appear. And the manipulator robots are unable to hold the pieces precisely. This is why one of the development that we are that we will be developing in the project is an RL-based adaptive impedance control to try to make all this positioning precisely. Okay. And now if we go to the second use case, you will see it's also another manufacturing, it's a manufacturing process. Another manufacturing process is based on additive manufacturing, but in the end, it's also arc-based. And as I said, we believe that the COROB solution that we are working on is scalable and can be moved from one process to another. In this case, what we are planning to use is a main robot for doing the one process, and an auxiliary robot for auxiliary tasks such as scanning, such as inspection, preheating, and so on. Okay, so we also enhance the capability of a single robot. This is not only about welding, but using a second auxiliary robot, we can outperform all these operations together. Okay, and we will also have a rotary table that in the end it's just gives another 2 degrees of freedom to the main robot. Okay, and I will say this, I don't know if I was a little bit quick, maybe not too detailed, but this is what the main project of COROB is about. I saw that there were some questions arise, but I didn't have time to read them, sorry, or address them. We will have time later, I believe, for all the questions. Okay.
Thank you very much, Iñaki. The next will be COROB open call requirements. I would like to welcome everyone and say hi from my side. All the information that you can get, that you can find is on our project COROB project EU website. We are also on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Discord. The open call, for you to know, it's open from 8th of April and will be open till 8th of July. COROB, it's a Horizon Europe project co-founded by European Commission, and it's coordinated by LORTEC with the participation of 8 consortium partners from 5 countries. As Iñaki mentioned before, we aim to develop a flexible, cooperative, and intelligent multi-robotic solution for our arc welding-based manufacturing processes, to offer the new operational capabilities to allow to increase the efficiency and improve the flexibility of the industrial processes. The purpose of the open call is to integrate and test innovative solutions within the COROB project's framework. These initiatives aims to enhance the efficiency and flexibility, as mentioned before, powered by inspection, monitoring, control, and AI techniques. COROB will launch one open call aiming to fund up to 2 million euros and select up to 15 external solutions eligible for funding. And here you can see we divided the instruments into two funding instruments. The first one is solution to challenges. We aim to fund up to 10 technology providers and to develop technical solutions covering the use cases challenges to further integrate and validate in the project use cases. The second funding instrument is experiments for enabling technologies for digital services. Here we aim to fund up to 5 technology providers to develop digital services, answering to the challenges and use cases areas within the data acquisition platform of COROB project. And who are we looking for? For the first funding instrument, solution to challenges, we are looking for 10 beneficiaries that are single applicants, technology developers and integrators, SMEs or startups. However, other companies can apply to join the program, but would not be granted with funding, only technical support. What do we aim? The integration and testing of innovative technologies to add new capabilities on top of the project use cases. And that's the scope of the first funding instrument, solution to challenges. Later on, we're gonna talk about 6 challenges within this funding instrument. But we are gonna select up to 10 beneficiaries and we will fund them up to 150,000 euros. The duration of the program will be 12 months. And later on, we will show you the milestones of the program. The second funding instrument is experiments for enabling technologies for digital services. And here applicants can apply to integrate and test innovative enabling technology to use to provide a digital service applicable in the project use cases. We will select up to 5 beneficiaries who can be found up to 100,000 euros. And the type of applicants is the same for 2 funding instruments. So we are looking again for single applicants, technology developers and the integrators, SMEs and startups. However, other types of companies may apply to join the programs, as I mentioned before. And the duration of the second funding instrument, it's 9 months. What do we offer? First, we offer funding support. As I mentioned before, up to 150,000 and up to 100, depending on the funding solution. Second, we offer technical support to elevate your TRL and to make a very successful use case. The third support that you're gonna receive is a business support. It's a business framework and new market opportunities for you to discover and promote your projects. Eligibility criteria. We will check the admissibility and eligibility before the deadline. So this is very important for you to submit the application before July 8th at 17 Brussels times via our online application form at corobocfundingbox.com. I believe you are going to have the link in the chat, so please go check it out if you haven't already. The entities have to be established in any of the member states of the European Union and its overseas countries and territories, or associated countries to Horizon Europe. All the information, as I mentioned before, you can find on our website. The support program that we are offering, it's a lump sum method that simplifies the expense settlement in Horizon Europe projects. requiring the demonstration of the project alignments with milestones rather than this detailed accounting documentation like invoices. Here we are showing you the payment milestones within those 3 stages: individual mentoring plan, solution development, and digital service development. And stage 3 will be validation for both of the funding instruments. Simply speaking, it means that we will carefully assess your progress and the quality of your work during the reviews, the milestone deliverables, KPIs, and ethical recommendations that will be set in the individual mentoring plan as a stage 1 at the beginning of the program. The lump sum method does not exempt you from collecting the documentation to confirm the cost under fiscal regulations. Here we are presenting to you the budget estimation to be fulfilled using the Excel template that is provided in the Guide and Documents tab of the OpenCall microsite. I will guide you later on how does the document looks like. And it is uploaded to the application from in accordance to the Horizon Europe Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions Program, with the following categories. First of all, personal costs, depending on the position, role, and dedication, and gross monthly salaries of personnel involved. The second stage that you have to describe, and it refers to the travel or substance expenses needed for the implementation of the experiment. In the budget estimation that has to be fulfilled, you'll find also other categories that are not being part of the core experiment, such as purchases or equipment or other goods and services or subcontracting. The next is 25% of overheads for all the above items, except the subcontracting, as it is a standard flight rate in the Horizon Europe program in general. All the above costs mentioned will be eligible costs for the experiment. Please remember that the requested amount of the lump sum will be allocated to each type of applicant. For startup, it's 100%. For SMEs, you can be found up to 70%, and other type of companies can apply and join the program. As I mentioned before, they will not be funded. Here, I would like for you to see our evaluation process that is transparent and fair and equal to all our participants. We will evaluate your project in the following stages. We encourage you to put the effort to present your project in the best possible way, offering as much as details as you can. This will allow us and assist us in evaluating your application and identifying how your proposal aligns with the overall scope of COROB. Here, the independent individual evaluation, just to let you know, will be evaluated by external experts. And now, how to apply? I believe in the chat there is a link already to COROB OC funding, where you can apply through our portal. What you can find in here, it's the guide for guides and documents tab, where we posted all the documents. I will show you later on the next slide what are type of documents that we need from you. There is also a help desk tab where you can find instruction how to join and how to be in contact with us. Also, if you would like to become supportive partners, you can all visit this tab. So how to apply? The first and the most important document, it's guide for applicant. It is essential and it's a must when applying to OpenCall. This document includes detailed description of the scope, the eligibility criteria, and the evaluation and how the process is run. Here within those tabs also you can find technical guidelines. It's a description of the challenges along with very illustrative examples of the desired outcomes. It's a very nice document where you can find all the informations about the project and 2 funding instruments. And I very encourage you to check this one. The next, we've included the budget estimation that you have to provide within your application form, and it provides the projection of the financial resources required for a specific, for your project. The next document that we have uploaded, it's the frequently asked question. It's the complementary document that includes a list of common questions asked by applicants. We have also included a work plan that you will have to provide within your application form. The application form I will show you in the next slides as well. The work plan should be clearly described and fully aligned with the COROB objectives, including the work packages and tasks. Also, we have uploaded an application form, a template in a Word file, so you can work on it and then upload it to our microsite. This is how the guide for applicants look like. So the table of the contents provides the basic info, what do we offer, the admissibility and eligibility criteria, how we will evaluate your proposal, and our support program. Also, how can you contact us, and final provisions and extra hints before you submit your proposal. Once again, please remember about the submission deadline, that is July 8th. Okay, now let's start with the application form itself. When you go on the website, you can see apply button. Once you click it, you are in the right place. You are there to provide us with your input with the application form. The application form, when you open, looks like this. So you need to first start a new application. There is a special button for this. If you would like to add a contributor, there is also an option within the application. You will see, and you can also invite your colleague to help you out with filling the application. You just have to send the invitation to your desired email and submit it. Here, it's our application form. You can see all the, you need to fill basic information, legal informations, then the 3 categories that we will, that will be evaluated: excellence, impact, and implementation. Those are really important criteria. Then you need to provide us with the selection, the statistical selection. Those are a couple of questions about statistics, ethical issues, very important as well, declaration of honor, and processing of personal data. All the informations will guide you through. So here on the website, you can always find an introduction to the criteria. So for example, basic information includes the deadline for this open call, the warnings, and all the informations. Please remember that questions marked are mandatory as it is shown on this slide. You can also get back to your application and submit whenever you're ready. So let's go through those criteria. In excellence part, you will have to provide us with the ambition, innovation, and soundness of approach and credibility of the proposed methodology. In this section, please remember that you should provide an information on the innovative component of your project or service. It will be scored by the COROB evaluators with the minimum threshold of 3 out of 5 points, with the special attention to ambition of your project and the innovation that you're planning to introduce. And the ambition part demonstrates to what extent the proposal solutions contributes to the project scope. In particular, you will have to identify the COROB challenge from the selecting 2 funding instruments that you will tackle and how you're gonna do it. The innovation will, you have to provide the information about the level of innovation within your market and about the degree of the differentiation that your project will bring. And the soundness of approach, we need you to provide concrete arguments and credibility of the proposed methodology for covering the challenge and then the needs and steps for integration within the use cases. Here you can ask yourself, how will you contribute to solving the selected challenge? How are you gonna tackle this? The next criterion is the impact. In this section, you should show the market potential of the product or service you propose and the business model with the commercial strategy. It will be, again, scored by COROB evaluators with the special attention. Advancing AI data and robotics, you should demonstrate here a value for flexible and intelligent manufacturing environment using powered AI and data. I'm sorry. The next one, market opportunity and scalability criteria. You will have to present the market potential of your solutions, of the use cases and the scalability in other areas and process for maximizing your business opportunities. The next, within impact criteria, competition, you will have to describe and analyze the degree of the competition of your product or against services, and to what extent your proposal breaks to the market. The next, environmental and social impact. Here, please bear in mind that you have to explain how your project will be impact with the environment and contribute to sustainable development. And let's go through the last criterion, which is implementation. Within the implementation, we have included a work plan, risk management, team, and resources committed. In this section, you will have to demonstrate your management and leadership qualities. So for a work plan, you should very clearly describe and fully be aligned with the COROB objectives, including the work packages and the task. This work plan should be realistic, coherent, and achievable. The next criterion, it's the risk management. You should present the risk assessment of your project and propose the measures how to overcome them. Team, in the team section, you have to demonstrate your capacity to perform and the development of your projects. In the resources committed, you should demonstrate the quality and effectiveness of the resources that align with the scope of your project. Within this section, you will have to fulfill the budget estimation using the template that is provided and upload in the PDF file in this section. How can we help you? On our website, you can find a help desk. We really encourage you to join our Discord channel, where we are answering all your questions. not only about the open call requirements, also about technical questions. Here we have the QR codes. You can easily scan it. Or if you prefer, I believe on the chat there will be a link to the Discord channel. And also on our website, you can click here at the bottom and it will redirect you to the Discord. And here it's a simple instruction how to do it. You have to log in or create your account, then enter your email and password, check your inbox to confirm, accept the invitation from EU Deep Tech powered by Funding Box, and choose your interest. And your interest, you can choose other projects as well. But for COROB project, we provided you a special channel for a special channel. If there is not a DU DeepNet channel, please find the connected world and select the diamond, select your project and click on the bulb icon and you're there. So thank you. Next, we will go through challenges and I believe Iñaki.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So now, if I may, I like to get a little bit technical. I'll try to give a brief description of all the challenges that we are looking for a solution for. And I believe that we tried our best to give a good description in the technical guidelines for all of them, but otherwise, I'll try my best today as well. Okay, all these challenges, they represent a specific need that we have in the project. Okay, so we try to describe the necessities the best as possible, not the solution itself. We are eager to receive the solutions from you, all the innovative solutions. So we only focused on the necessities that we have. Okay. So if I start from the picking solution, this is really related to the first use case, the one for joining. As I mentioned before, we will have two manipulation robots and a welding robot. For this challenge itself, what we need is a picking solution based on a vision system, I assume most probably a camera, that will identify the pieces or the parts that are available on a bin and that needs to be picked by the manipulating robots. Okay, here we are initially thinking of plates and tubes, but we would like to have as flexible as possible solution to get other geometries as well, or more complex solutions. Okay, more complex geometries. What we envision is that all these parts are randomly distributed on a bin, and as we highlight in the slide, the lighting conditions will be uncontrolled. Okay, the pilot will be installed here in Lotec. This is an industrial facility, and there might be signs and reflections. As all the parts to be picked, they are steel parts. Okay. The vision system will be stationary, so I think this makes things easier. And what we need is to identify the position and the orientation of all the parts that needs to be picked. If the parts for some reason cannot be reachable because they are occluded or in proximity to other objects, or I don't know, under some other objects, okay, in this case the system needs to discard those and suggest another for the robots. Okay, just an important mention here. We are not looking for a solution here to move the robot itself. We only need to identify the parts and give the positions to the robots. Okay, we will be moving the robots from a partner from the consortium will be moving the robot itself. Okay. Okay, so if we move to the second one, to the second challenge, I believe this is the modular grippers. So as we said, the concept, the novel concept here is that the two manipulator robot grasp the pieces and third robot weld them together. So we need the grippers for the manipulator robot to grasp the parts and weld them together. And this is a little, gets challenging. First of all, because there will be a weld very close to the grippers, which means that there will be relatively high temperatures next to the robots. As I said before, the geometries that we are now envisioning are plates and tubes, which is not very difficult here in this case. There will be a minimum thickness of 2 millimeters, which gets things a little bit more complicated from a control perspective. And they will be made of steel. We need a minimum load capacity of 45 kilos, as this corresponds to the forces that we see due to the contraction of the steel after welding. We would like to have as flexible as possible. Okay, not only matching plates and not for grasping plates and tubes, but other geometries will be also desirable. And finally, and I think this is maybe a little bit novel or not so standard, the grippers need to have a grounding connection. The reason is that this is arc welding. So usually the fixtures or jigs are grounded, and then there is an earth to have an arc. In this case, there is no such a fixture. So somewhere there has to be a grounding, and we like to have it in the grippers itself. Okay, so there will be some current on this part, which may be a little bit more complex for magnets, and well, it's a little bit challenging in this case. Okay. If we move to the next challenge, this is a layer height control. This is related to the additive manufacturing process of the second use case. The challenge here is that during one processes, it is quite difficult to precisely predict the height of each layer. So as you all know, the layer one process works layer by layer, and many times the control of the height is constant, which if it's undesirable if the height of each layer is not precisely predicted. For this case, since the accumulative error of each layer cannot be neglected, at the end we may have a collision. Okay, so for this case, what we are willing to receive is a solution to continuously monitor the standoff distance and controlling it, so that we have there is a threshold, and if the threshold is exceeded, then we will have to do some correction. Okay, for this case, the solution will be installed on a robot. And we need a precision of at least plus minus 0.2 millimeter. In order to make it economically viable and for scalability reasons, we would like to have a solution that does not surpass the 10,000 euros, and a latency below 200 milliseconds, which I think it's not very demanding. If we move to the next one, also for use case 2, for additive manufacturing processes, when the substrate is not correctly heated in advance, there is this cracking effect can occur depending on the material, especially in difficult to deposit materials. The solution usually is to have a preheating system, which I would say a lot of processes it's still manual and just with some flame. What we want here is to have an automatic system that can automatically switch on and off. It will be also installed on a robot, and we want to preheat the substrate in an homogeneous way. Okay. Also, you can see here that the areas are medium-sized. Okay. Otherwise, sometimes here we are tempted to use an oven. It cannot be the case here. Okay, we need something that is installed on a robot, and it provides this preheating for the substrate up to half a meter for the times 200 millimeters. Okay. For load capacity reasons, we cannot exceed the 3 kilos maximum weight, and also for safety, we cannot exceed the 45 degrees at the flange of the system to the robot side. Okay, this would compromise the electronics. Okay. Here, I think this is maybe from all the challenges the most flexible one, because we have the idea behind this challenge is that we want to perform non-destructive tests and do some inspections, both for the welding and for the additive manufacturing. And so we know what defects we want to measure, and we are fully open to receive solutions. So we would like to have to measure surface imperfections such as cracks, pores, or slags in classrooms. From internal imperfections, lack of fusion, incomplete penetration, and internal cracks. And from the melting pool monitoring, this is for the additive manufacturing. Also, we would like to measure the characteristics of the molten metal, okay, during the process. So here, I know that there are a lot of solutions. This is a hot topic on research. So we are open to it. I don't know, eddy current sensors, ultrasounds. We are really open here, okay, for the solutions. So, and I think finally, for the first funding instrument, the last challenge is regarding 3D scanning. On the next slide, please. What we want here is after manufacturing, and this is again for welding. Okay, after joining, we want to, as I said, measure the properties of the welding bed itself, and this would be the previous challenge, but also the overall geometry of the manufactured part. Okay, so here we would like to receive 3D scanning system that first of all could capture the data, make a point cloud reconstructions, convert it to a CAD file, and finally compare the real CAD to the theoretical one and give an assessment. If the deviations from the theoretical CAD are too big, then we need to mark it as a defect, or otherwise say, okay, this is correct, and save this information. Okay, optionally, sorry, in the previous one, optionally, we would also like we would like that the solution can also suggest the monitoring point for inspections. Okay, if the geometry is complex, then the number of points for inspections may change, and so it might depend. Okay, so from a given CAD, they can be calculated and optimized in this sense. Only the points, not the trajectories themselves. As I said before, the moving of the robots would be out of the scope. Okay, and in order to make things even more complex, we will have signs and reflections due to uncontrolled landing conditions, and the sizes will be medium size. Okay, up to 1.5 meters, almost. Okay, if we move to the second funding instrument, the first solution that we envision is a digital product passport. In this case, the idea is to to promote traceability and to get more informed and sustainable processes. Okay, so the data product passport will be a documentation tool to collect information of the life cycle, materials, and all the information from all the inspections that I just mentioned before, and also some that we will perform ourselves during the project. So we would like to plan it in a way that is not only valid for ARC-based processes, but if we want to extend the COROB the COROB design to other manufacturing processes itself, it should also the digital product passport should also be valid for all manufacturing processes, not only ARC-based. Okay, and so well, the DPP should contain these three main components, as we say, just the unique identifier, and we are open for different suggestions here or solutions, a data storage and access control, and a data collection system for collecting and encoding the information. Okay, and also we are also open to adopt different technologies here. I think now it's very trendy to use blockchain for the digital product passport, and I think it's the most prominent one. But as I said, we are really open to your suggestions. Okay, if we move to the second one, we will need a friendly user interface. I think here a good point is to say that we will need a friendly user interface for both use cases. Okay, so we will have one single talent, but it should cover both use cases. So it will cover the joining process, but also the additive manufacturing process. The concept should be one single concept. Okay, we are not looking for independent solutions. We are looking for one single COROB solution, and then it will have its own particularities. Okay, so this is a good opportunity for, as I said before, to really empower the operator, give the information they require in an intuitive way, especially for those non-technical operator. So here we are envisioning some gameful learning tutorials or gameful elements and trainings and so on to facilitate the interaction for the operator with the processes. Okay, and just as if I may pinpoint a few requirements, so it should be web-based. Of course, the idea is to integrate the data and provide this information to the operator in a friendly way. Of course, it must be appealing, it must be modern and clean. I think it doesn't make a big impact if we make a really nice development and really innovative development if we cannot then show it in a nice and appealing way. And finally, we just would like to also have some user roles depending on these technical and non-technical operators and different levels. Okay. We also have one talent. This might sound similar to another talent from the first founding instrument, but it's not the case. This is also for non-destructive test process monitoring. Okay, but before we were looking for complete solutions, giving a sensor, giving camera, whatever, to provide that information. Here, what we want is to go some steps and step ahead and do sensor fusion and merging of information to enhance the approaches of a single process sensor. Okay, so for example, we here before we had some necessities that we wanted to identify, some imperfections, and here are more into not imperfections themselves, but in terms of different fields. So we would like to have thermal monitoring, optical monitoring, reflections using profile meters. As I said before, you know that lining conditions here, we are concerned about this. and also for welding-based monitoring as well. Okay. And so finally, I think the last challenge is for wearable vision systems for human-centered process monitoring. I think we are open to any wearable vision system that would give information to the operator as before. This is a complement to the friendly user interface. But to be honest, we really envision glasses, kind of glasses for, I don't know if virtual or augmented reality, something in this direction that can complement the friendly user interface and give more information, or maybe I don't know if more information or a different set of information, or the same information presented in another way that will empower the operator. Okay, and here, for example, if you go to the technical guidelines, we suggest things like using glasses to operate the system itself, so with some gesture recognition and these kind of things. Okay, something very basic. This won't be the core of the project, but it will be nice, and it will really empower the operator in these kind of things. Okay. So I think that was all from my side.
Okay, thank you very much, Iñaki and Patricia. I think now it's time for Q&A session. I believe we have a few questions already on our chat. So let me start with the first one. Okay, the first question we have from Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Does the solution have to be with 2 robot arms, or alternative ways are acceptable to achieve the flexibility?
Well, first of all, good morning, everyone. I think to manage this Q&A session properly, the technical questions regarding the challenges and what not can be eligible in terms of a technical proposal. I think Iñaki is more appropriate to answer. I will answer the questions dealing with the process, the whole process of the open call. So maybe Iñaki, you can deal with this question.
Yes, sure. So yeah, it has to be about multiple robot arms. We will have 3 robot arms for the first use case, 2 robot arms for the second use case. In fact, all the concept for the project, it's about cooperation of robots. So yes, in the end, it has to be like this. Okay, but I cannot really see what it's related, how it's related to the challenges. We try to make them so specific, so in the end they will be installed on a robot. But if I just need to say it in a single sentence, yes, they have to be in robotic arms. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And here we have other question from Oleksiy. Could we ask some tech question regarding challenge to modular grippers?
Yes, of course. I will try my best to answer, and otherwise we will collect the question and ask internally. But I will try. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I just like to remember that to use the help desk as much as possible as the means for asking questions, whatever they are, if they deal with the technical aspects or with the business aspect, whatever the question is, the right channel is the help desk in Discord, because this way we will provide a proper answer as soon as we can, and we will readdress the question to the right person within the consortium to do it. And also everybody, not only the person who's making the question, but everybody will have access to the answer.
Okay, thank you. Let me check another one. Are we going to receive the briefing in writing post factum?
This is actually something that we can answer from the marketing side. Of course, you will receive not really the briefing, but what you can receive from us is the recording of this webinar and also the presentation. If you gave your consent, as we mentioned in the very beginning of this webinar, to receive marketing communication during registration, you will receive a follow-up email tomorrow or on Monday. But if you haven't done so, please observe our application landing page. There in the document section, you will also find this presentation and the recording of the webinar.
Okay, thank you, Marta. And another question, as regards solution to challenges, which TRL is supposed to be reached?
Yeah, for the TRL, the objective of the project is to I think it's 6 to 7 for the project, and I think also for the FSTP solutions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And another one from Oleksiy regarding challenge 2 modular gripper. How different can the jointing part be understand the required level of flexibility? How can size and shapes differ? Should it be one single universal gripper, or this could be tool change system to use different grippers depends on part size, shape?
Yeah. Okay. So here we really try to let it as open as possible. I mean, I know that we need to define the shapes, otherwise it's impossible. This is why we said about we mentioned the plates and tubes, because these are the shapes that we will be grasping right now. As I said, it would be nice to have the possibility to grasp some other geometries as well. So if you have such a solution that is flexible and can be extended, it would be nice. Otherwise, we will make it with tubes and plates. Regarding, sorry, the second part of the question, I think you also mentioned about sizes, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so for the sizes, we plan to have pretty big sizes. Well, sorry, not pretty big sizes. We have started with very small ones, so we are planning to grow. But something like half a meter. Maybe at the end it will be nice to be able to weld up to 1 meter plates. I think for the tubes it's not necessary. The thing with the plates is that the longer the plates are, the different forces and moments that appear. This is why it's interesting from the control perspective. But this is I don't think that we should have something bigger than 1 meter for the plates. Here, I think one of the details that it's more challenging is for the it's not the length of itself, but they are quite thin. It's about it's just 2 millimeters. Okay, and the total size could be, I think it's like as I said, more realistically, we will be using finally 500 times 50 millimeters or something like this, plates of this size. Okay. Apart from questions, sorry, there are a lot of questions here. So yeah, about having one universal gripper or a tool chain system, we envision a universal gripper. The reason is that if we are planning to get rid of jigs, in the end, it's for giving higher flexibility to the robot themselves. So if we, instead of changing the fixtures, we need to change the tooling. it gets a little bit challenging. But if this changing is automatic and we don't really need to involve the operator, then I think it should be fine as well.
Okay, thank you. Another question we have from Savas. For the technical challenge, advanced sensor for quality monitoring and or NDT purposes, is radiography X-ray inspection in scope of the open call?
I think radiography should meet all the I think it will meet all the requirements that we have set, but it is something that we never had in mind, to be honest. But yeah, why not? Why not? As long as it meets the requirement that we have set, and I think it should be fine, then it should be fine. It should be okay.
Okay, thank you. Could laser welding technology be as an option to be used in project?
No. The pilots that have been chosen are both arc-based processes, and this is something that we cannot change right now.
Okay, thank you so much. Another question. As a robotic company specializing in hardware and software solution, we are interested in addressing the challenge of creating a friendly user interface. For the software solution we developed, we need to integrate it with the project's existing robots and their software platforms, or are we permitted to deploy our solution on our own proprietary platform?
It is perfectly acceptable to integrate proprietary platforms. In fact, for the robots, we are not, for this challenge itself, we are not envisioning that the HMI interfaces with the robots themselves, but with our project platform. So there will be a platform that will collect all the data. It will register the data. It will also make some will run some AI models for that data analytics. And then it will also publish all this information to the friendly user interface, but also to the wearable vision system and so on. So yes, it is perfectly acceptable.
Okay, another question. Do we get access to the robot cells or other infrastructure to test the integration of hardware-software solutions?
The integration of I think from the project timing, it might be the case that these challenges are available before the robotic cells are completely finished. So it is there will be for sure some timing for integration before the project is finished, but the robot cells will not have the complete functionalities before the challenges are provided. So I would say that it will, I would say yes, up to a point.
Okay, and another one. We suppose the project to be for serial production. The parts are coming from line or they are loaded from personnel.
It's different for both use cases. For the additive manufacturing case, it's not serial manufacturing at all. It's about repairing, and it will not be serial. We can maybe consider it as serial for the first use case about joining. Could be serial. It will not be for the scope of this project, but the concept could be applied to serial manufacturing. In this case, as I said, it will be an operator will bring all the material into a bin. There will be a picking solution that is a challenge, in fact, and then the manipulator robots will collect the pieces themselves. So the material feeding will be from an operator, but I think it should not change. It should not make a big difference at this point.
Okay, and this is another one. Is there any brand of robot we must use because we are using collaborative robots? I think it's referring to the previous one.
Yeah, for the in this case, the provision of the robots, it's out of the scope of all the challenges. They will be provided by the consortium. We are also using collaborative robots for the for both use cases. And they will we will have a mix. We will have collaborative robots and we will have industrial robots as well.
If I may, there was previously, prior to this question, there was a requirement for sending the link to Discord. I think the link has already been provided in this chat. But in any case, you have the link to the Discord or to the help desk in the microsite that is also provided. And we, as I said at the beginning, I encourage all of you to use this channel to make any questions. From what I see, most of the questions right now have been from the technical point of view. So at the end of the questions, if there are no questions about the process, I will make some statements or some, I will try to focus on some topics that I find very interesting to insight or re-insight in what we pretend to get in terms of, for example, the budget and other stuff, not really technical questions. So let's move forward with the technical questions, and in the end, I will say something about the process itself.
Okay, sure, thank you. Okay, and another question we have here, since you said that there has to be a robot cooperation in the application and in the two use cases, such cooperations were described, does this mean that only projects similar or some as the use cases will be funded?
Yes, here I think we are. I'm not sure if I got the point of the question, but I think that it's worth mentioning. We are not looking for a similar project to what we described. We are looking to solutions that will complement the project that we described. So in the end, we are not looking to have for a solution that will also include 2 robots or 3 robots. This is something that is covered by the project itself. So we are looking for the solutions that we described, that we try to make them as specific as possible to be integrated in our setups and to provide additional functionalities. Okay. So there are been a lot of questions regarding the robots. We will provide the robots. This is okay, and I think there is no much interaction required from the challenges that we described or the solution that we described here. So from the challenges perspective, I think none of the challenges requires such a cooperation. I don't know, maybe you can elaborate more on the question and I will be happy to answer.
Okay, so we can go to another one. Are you also looking for 3D generative design software methodologies to work with 2 or 3 robots with both AM and assembly?
Yes, I'm not really sure what 3D generative design software methodologies mean, but the additive manufacturing case that we are considering is only for repair. So it's nothing like generating new 3D designs or new shapes for additive manufacturing. Okay, it's additive repair using one. So, and for the case of the 3 robots, it's only about joining. So this could be maybe for assembly, but I'm not sure how to answer. Maybe same, if you could please elaborate, I'll be happy to answer.
Okay. In the proposal, do we need to select one of the presented challenges to be tackled, Or can we propose something that combines several challenges, like modular grippers and picking solutions using AI?
Well, from the administrative perspective, you can do the two of them, but what we are going to do is to select at least one proposal per challenge. So I believe that it's better that you tackle one challenge and maybe you do another proposal with another challenge, but I don't know, Iñaki, if you think that two challenges in the same proposal could be feasible.
I think that the two that are being proposed together, it could technically be possible. I think it could make sense, but to be honest, I think that it's less competitive to have both solutions in a single challenge than having both of them separately.
So the answer would be that we recommend you to do two different proposals, tackling each one a different challenge, or select one of them, the one that you think it fits better with your use case.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have to provide the solution to the consortium after the FSTP has finished? Do we have to share any IPRs?
Okay, this is a good question. So in principle, the intellectual property rights are owned by the applicant or the selected beneficiary. But what we are requesting is to allow the consortium to share this IPR during the lifetime of the COROB project. Afterwards, it will be all yours. But since, as you say, there will be first a development of the proposal, and then the project will use, the COROB project will use your proposal for further developments. Yeah, you need to share these rights at least until the end of the COROB project.
Okay, and here's another question. Is it possible to win more than one proposal?
To win, no. You can submit several proposals, as many as you like, but only the highest ranked one could be eventually chosen or selected. You can only win one proposal, not more.
Thank you. And can we have WPDS of the welding process?
Here, my answer will be that this data is available, of course, for us if it is required, and if can be justified, or if you have such a need, we can provide it during the project. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that was all from the question. Or no, sorry, we have another one. To add, we can only win one proposal across the program, even if we were to submit solution across the various challenges. Is that correct?
Yes. In this project, COROB, there is only one open call. This will be the only open call during the whole lifetime of the project, with two different funding instruments, but you can only win one proposal along the project. In other projects where there are more than one open call, you can eventually be winner in each round, but here there is only one round, so only one proposal can be a winning one. Now, if there is no more questions, I would like to go back just to make sure that you are fully understood, because I know that this question has already been mentioned in in the help desk, and it can be mentioned, and it is essential for you to understand. We can go back to the budget estimation, because you have in the documents, there is one which is the budget estimation template. So in this template, you will have to include the personnel costs, the mobility costs, or the travel costs if there is a need to travel, and other categories are divided in these purchases of equipment or other goods and services and subcontracting. This is not mandatory. You can eventually not have the need of purchasing anything or to subcontract anything. But if this is the case, just I would like to stress the point that in any case, the subcontracting of this equipment cannot be the core of the experiment. The main developments need to go or come from you, from the applicant. Although you might need to subcontract specific tasks or specific equipment to buy, but that are not, the essential part of the project. Otherwise, if this is the case, this subcontracting body should provide a proposal on its own. And if you subcontract anyone, of course, in the template, you will need to let us know who is the name of the subcontractor and what you need it for. And this subcontractor can be any type of company. So, because the companies that can get some funding, as you can see in this slide, are startups and SMEs. So if you are a corporate, a mid-cap, or a big company, you can, you can provide a proposal, submit a proposal, but you won't get any funding other than technical support, of course. But in the subcontracting, if you need to subcontract a specific task that again is not the essential part of the proposal, then the company you are subcontracting can be of any type. Of course, there is also something you need to observe, is that we cannot admit any conflict of interest. So if this contractor is a company that is linked to you because they are a shareholder of your company, or you are a shareholder of this company, or one of your personnel is director or is an employee of the other company, we consider that there is a conflict of interest. So this subcontracting should be done with companies that are not really related with you. And also, in terms of calculation, you will see in the template that the sums and the calculations are done automatically. So you just need to include your numbers in some of the cells, but the sums, etc., are calculated automatically. But in any case, if you want to do your own sums and calculations, please observe that the overheads of this 20%, 25% are only applicable to all the categories except subcontracting. Subcontracting doesn't have any overhead. And then the difference about eligible cost and the requested amount, because this is something that we find in many projects. For example, if you are an SME, since the lump sum will be fixed and will be 150K or 100K, depending on the funding instrument. If you are a startup, there is no problem. The requested amount is exactly the cost that you have fulfilled in your, you have detailed in the Excel file. But if you are an SME, then they have to be 30% higher. And this is written in the guide for applicants. For example, in the first funding instrument, if you are an SME, your eligible costs have to be 214,285, so that the 70% is exactly 150K. And the same goes for the second funding instrument, that if you are an SME, you will have your eligible house costs have to be 142,857. You can read it in the guide for applicants. And in any case, in the Excel file, you will see that there is also a calculation done automatically, but you need to check that if you are an SME, the eligible costs are not exactly the requested amount. The requested amount has to be 70%, but this 70% has to be equal to 150 or 100. And regarding the budget estimation, that's all. I don't know if there is any questions about that.
We have two more questions on our chat. Please let me read it. The COROB aim only software solution and process or end solution with robots? Is the project can finance robots, stable, etc.?
Yeah, the COROB complete COROB project solution will be software and hardware. So we will have the robots, we will have the tables, we will have the welding equipment, everything. Same is for the challenges. The challenges, as I said before, they do not include robots. Okay, they do not, or these any of these expensive components. But if the solution includes a sensor because a camera is needed, or because I don't know, a profile meter or whatever, or an eddy current, I don't know, then the solution should be complete as well and provide this corresponding sensor.
Thank you. And another one, what is the budget limit for subcontracting? 15%?
Okay, so in principle, there is no limit in subcontracting, but it's true that when I say that it cannot be like the core of the experiment, it is reasonable that you fixed not a limit, but a percentage that is not too high. 15% sounds good, but in any case, bear in mind that this concept, that this budget that you are going to provide is going to be evaluated by the evaluator. So these evaluators need to check and to verify and to assess whether they are sound or not. It depends on what you are proposing. It depends, for example, it's the same for the equipment. And maybe you don't need, you say that you are going to spend for an equipment, I don't know, 50% of their budget, when what you are describing in your proposal is not matching with this requirement. So everything has to be reasonable and what we call sound. So the soundness of the budget will be evaluated by these two independent experts. So I think that 15%, but it is just an opinion, is a good percentage, but there is no limit actually.
Okay, thank you so much. Do you have any other questions?
I think there is a hand risen.
If not, another reminder is that the deadline is on the 8th of July at 5 p.m. Brussels time. That means that if you submit you can submit your proposal as many times as you like before that deadline. So you can draft your proposal, submit a version, then redo it and resubmit it as many times as you like. But after 5 p.m., you're out. I mean, we will not accept any proposal that is submitted after 5 p.m. Brussels time. Because sometimes we receive some people complaining about or telling us that they had some issues with the platform or with the system or with their internet access. So do that on time. Do not wait until the very last minute. And maybe the better solution is that you submit proposals. And if you, unfortunately, you submit one after 5 p.m., at least you have the previous one that is recorded.
Okay, thank you. Thomas, would you like to add something? Because I see that you raised your hand. Okay, thank you very much. And if you have any other questions, now is the time.
One thing, because I see a message from Alexei. Okay, about the Discord, I think it is clear. Marta replied to him. But yeah, I think, please use this Discord channel. And then when you ask something, please be sure that we are going to reply as soon as we get maybe not immediately, because it depends on the complexity of the question. But yeah, I encourage all of you to use this platform for the questions.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Antonio. And as we already answered on chat, we will send you the follow-up message with all the information, also access to Discord, a webinar, and every single material that you saw here today. As we are seeing that we have less and less participants, of course, it is already 1.5 hours of this webinar. So please have a great day.